Right, so kicking, obviously you need to be flexible, especially if you're kicking people your height. And we don't have a lot of time in class to do a lot of stretching. So it's always a good idea to do stretching on your own.
Yeah.
What do you do to improve your flexibility when you're not in class?
I generally do the stretches we would do in a class. They're just butterfly, legs out, touching the toes, but also just trying to hold as close to the floor as I can.
All right, that's all good stuff. Any stretching is better than no stretching,
Okay.
number one. Generally, I would say first thing in the morning or before you've warmed up is a great time to stretch, but don't try and push it too far.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you can touch your toes without any real effort, then yeah, first thing in the morning, doing like a toe touch like that, as long as you're not putting any effort in. And then maybe try and like reach a tiny bit further, try to put your knuckles on the floor, that kind of thing. But we're not actually trying to improve flexibility at this stage. When you're stretching cold and first thing in the morning, all you're trying to do is get your muscles used to the idea that they're going to have a bit more, range of motion. They're going to need a bit more range of motion. As such, the first thing I do in the morning is this, because my back and my legs get really stiff during the night. My calves, my hamstrings, and my lower back gets really stiff. What you were saying, the basic 5 stretches that we do in class, where we sit down, open our legs, lean forward, lean to the sides, they're great because they're not very high intensity. Actually, this is not such a good stretch because gravity is pulling you down. Ideally, sitting on the floor and reaching forward is a better bet. So when you wake up in the morning, you wake up in bed, reach forward, try and touch your toes in bed. That's a great idea, but most people are really stiff first thing in the morning. So going down holding a split, that's actually a really good plan. What I would suggest is go down to where it is, say, you can feel the stretch. It's starting to be a bit uncomfortable, but it's not painful. So if you want to do that facing the camera, any kind of split position you prefer. Okay, so front split, good, excellent. Okay, so see here, do you feel a bit of pressure on your knee on the inside there?
Not really.
No? Okay, good. That's what I was going to say. So what's happening is that's actually a bad position for your knee to be in because your knee doesn't bend this way. And putting in that position, you're putting a lot of strain on the inside. So what I would suggest is, I'll show you like this. So this is the position you're in, like that. I would suggest turn around so that you're on the instep of your rear foot, like that. There you go. Now put one hand either side of your leg at the front. That's it. There you go. Yes. Yes, you want to get in a straight line. So you want to try and square your hips up. That's it. There you go. Good. Now, like that, you'll increase the stretch on your front leg by leaning forwards. Yes. If you lean forwards, try and get your chest on your knee. That's going to increase the stretch on the hamstring there. Now, if you lean backwards, you're an old man for balance if you need. You good? Lean backwards. That should increase the stretch on your back leg. Exactly, just down there. Now, if you now put your hands back on the floor to support your weight, don't lean forward too far. See if you can push your back foot a tiny bit farther back. There you go, just there. That's it. All you need. So when we're doing stretching, you want tiny little increments. Right? Don't try and push it too far, because stretching is a form of strength training. The reason that you can go down this far and no farther is because your muscles have got a stretch receptor, and they're sending a message to your brain going, if we go any farther, we're going to break. We're not strong enough to hold this. So the brain sends back a signal, goes, okay, automatically contract. So what you're going to do from this position is, I would like you to, using these muscles and these muscles, squeeze the floor with your feet. Really squeeze it as hard as you possibly can. Now relax, lean forwards, and see if you can push your back foot back a tiny bit farther. And if you can, then straighten your body up and then lean backwards. So you're now increasing the stretch on your back leg. Now what we're doing here, imagine you've got a rusty pair of scissors. And you want to try and get it working, and you're going to do this. And it's the same thing. We're going backwards and forwards, increase the stretch there, decrease it there. As you increase the stretch there, you're decreasing it there, so you can push that back a little bit further. As you lean back, like this. Now, I don't push my front foot forwards. But as I lean back like this, I'm stretching this. So then when I put my hand back on the floor, and I'm not leaning forward particularly far, again, I can push my back foot back a tiny little bit farther. And remember, it's like a couple of millimeters is all you need. Okay, so you can stand back up now. So basically, you can use that technique, that hold the position, squeeze the muscles, and then see if they go a little bit farther. You can use that technique to improve your flexibility. It's a very useful technique, because what you're doing is, if you imagine, like, this is my leg, it's not my leg, but I've held it there, and when I push down like this, I'm contracting the muscles which are being stretched, which means contracting means they're getting shorter. So then after I relax, I can go a little bit farther.
Yeah.
And then I contract them again, and they should be going. And it's only a teeny little bit, but what you're doing is, one, you're kind of tricking the muscle into going farther than it wants to. But two, and this is the most important part, every time you do a strong contraction, the muscle realizes that it needs to get stronger. That's how you get your muscles stronger, by making them contract strongly. The way muscles work, I don't know if you know this, I don't know if anybody else knows this, I'm sure somebody's going to know it. You've got these fibers which overlap like this, and there are two chemicals, actin and myosin. And where you've got a lot of overlap on these chemicals, you can have a strong contraction. The farther you get out, the less of these chemicals there are on the ends of the fibers, which means it's harder to create a contraction. So what you're doing is you're training your muscles to have strength at a lengthened position. That's what we're doing with flexibility. Now, another good stretching technique, as I'm sure you're aware, is partner stretching. Right? So we're doing the same thing. It's going to be contracting and releasing. That is called PNF. That stands for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, which basically is a flashy way of saying you're tricking your body into thinking it can go further.
Okay.
Right, so if you want to put one hand on the wall there, right, there we go. So hold your leg out in a side kick position like that, fully extended. Right. See if you can turn that foot in the other way. That's it, there you go. Look over your shoulder, turn your hips over, that's it, good. Right, now that's the perfect side kick position. It also works for a roundhouse kick or hook kick. Use the muscles in the inside of your thigh to push down against my arm. That's it, push hard as you can, push, 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 and relax. Try and lift your leg off my arm. Good, relax. So now I'm going to lift up a tiny bit higher. Now push down again, push, 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 and relax. Now try and lift your leg off. That's it, good, and relax. Or you won't be able to, but it's engaging those muscles is going to help strengthen them. So now I'm going to push up a little bit higher. Good, that's it. Now push down, push, 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 hard as you can, and relax. Okay, try and lift your leg up. Good, relax. And now it's on top of my head. Good. Push down, push, 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 and relax. Lift up, and relax. There we go. So we're going to get all the way down. So what we're doing there is we're stretching and strengthening the muscles.
Yeah.
So if you hold my foot there a sec, when I'm pushing down, I'm strengthening the muscles inside there, which allows them to go a little higher. When I lift it up, I'm trying to strengthen the muscles on the outside, the ones that lift my leg up. Now, even if I can't lift my leg up any higher, the fact that I'm trying to engages those muscles and makes them stronger. And with kicking, you need to have strong, flexible legs. There's no point having being able to do a split if you can't hold your leg up in the air. Same time, there's no point having strong legs if you're inflexible, because then the muscles that are doing the kicking are fighting against the muscles that are inflexible.